5 members reply. I know Dan couldn't come. I know Dan's traveling, but I think we had enough for quorum, so we'll just hang out till we do. See, Jim is there. How are you, Jim?
Good, how are you?
Good. I don't think we've actually met. This is if we call these introductions now via Zoom. I know you were at the last meeting, right? I think when Dan was doing it. Yeah.
I was, yep. Yep.
Yeah, excellent. Appreciate it. As the summer comes around, quorums get a little thinner sometimes. So, but I mean, that's
I
why we do the Zoom.
was
So,
going to say it's pretty convenient to do Zoom meetings. So
it is. Yeah, because a couple of folks travel. So, it just makes it easier to do. So I'm just looking, Kathy, let's
Sam
see.
Dowd, PMA, doesn't want to
Yep.
be promoted.
Oh, that's all right. He can eat whatever he's fine in the attendees or as the panel. That's fine.
Okay.
Either one.
Was he that new person?
Yep.
Also, yeah.
Sam's new to the
Yeah.
team, so he's joining us for his first building committee meeting right off the
All
bat.
right. All right.
And that's it for now.
Yeah, so I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5, so we have a quorum. So why don't we call the meeting to order? It is 6:01, and I will read the remote meeting procedures. The meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board commission members will be remote, and remote attendance shall be counted towards quorum. The meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. To use Zoom, you'll need to use the link on the agenda or download the Zoom application at www.zoom.us and create an account or use one of the call-in numbers listed on the agenda. You'll need the webinar ID to join by phone only. While conducting meetings remotely, we will endeavor to keep meetings as close to our standard procedures as possible. However, use of this platform will necessitate some additional meeting protocols. While the board members or commissioners and applicants will be on video and audio, public participants will join the webinar as attendee, meaning they are muted with no video feed from them. During the public testimony portion of the meeting, members of the public can be recognized by using the hand function found under participants from Zoom or make a request with the Q&A function. If you're joining only by phone, you can press *9 to raise your hand. If an applicant wishes to display materials, please make the request to the chair and the email materials to the board staff for sharing the screen. When starting testimony, please state your name and address for the record. There's a markup function in Zoom which will allow you to call out specific areas of presentation materials. As in any public meeting, indecent behavior will not be tolerated, and anyone who abuses use of the meeting platform will be terminated from the meeting. Business will be handled at the times indicated on the agenda. Business not concluded in the allotted time will be tabled to the end of the meeting to allow for timely logins and remote attendance. Board members are asked to announce themselves making a motion in a second so that it will be clear to the audience and minute takers who make motions. All votes will be by roll call. When all business indicated on the agenda has been completed, the members will vote to adjourn the meeting, signaling the end of the meeting and the termination of the ECAT recording. All participants will be disconnected from the webinar at that time. Applicants will join the webinar as attendee and promoted to panelists at their agenda item. Applicants will then be able to share their screens and present their materials. As much as possible, presentation materials should be provided beforehand so the materials can be included in the public record. Individual board chairs and staff may wish to keep screen sharing to their computer. Applicants are encouraged to speak with staff prior to the meeting on how material will be presented. So I will start roll call. I am here. Ken?
Present.
Jamie? Did you see Jamie on the list? I don't think I saw him. I think he's coming, but we'll move on. He's not here right now. Lauren?
Present.
There we go. Hey, Lauren. Dave, I think might be out, Dave Field, so I don't see him. I think he was out today.
I think he's on vacation.
Yeah, he called into the other meeting, but I know I got one of those auto replies, so I think Dave is out. Dan, I know wasn't going to be able to make it. Jim?
present.
Present. Jason?
Present.
All right. And I don't think I saw Leisha. Is Leisha on the call? No, I don't see Leisha. All right. So we do have 1, 2, 3, 4. We do have 5, so we have a quorum. So we will conduct business. Alrighty. So I sent out earlier today, we have a bunch of meeting minutes to do because we were kind of squeezing in some agenda items at that last meeting. So the first one is I sent out the February 4th, 2025. Those were the executive session meeting minutes. We already voted on the regular session. So did anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about that? I was hoping there'd be none. All right. Not seeing any, I will take a motion to accept the February 4th, 2025 executive session meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Bruce.
Second,
Do I
Carlson.
have- Second for Carlson. All right, we'll do a roll call vote. I am a yes. Ken?
Yes?
Lauren?
Yes.
And Jim?
Andy, since I was not on the committee, should I abstain?
Yeah, I think that's fine to do because I think we'll still be able to carry it, so you can abstain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. And abstain. All right. And Jason?
Yes.
So we do have 4 yeses. So those minutes are approved. So we will continue on to the next meeting minutes. So those were the ones from the April 22, 2025 NBC regular session meeting minutes. Did anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about those meeting minutes? Just scroll. All right. All right. Seeing none, I will take a motion to accept the, I keep them noted, April 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes.
So moved. Bruce.
Second, Carlson.
Carlson. All right, we'll do another roll call vote. I am a yes. Andrew? Ken?
Yes?
All right, Lauren?
Yes.
All right. Jim, I don't think you were at that one, right?
No. So I'll
All right, do
abstain.
you want to just, okay, yeah, just abstain, that's fine. All right, and Jason?
Yes.
All right, so those meeting minutes are approved by vote. And now the last one we have is our last meeting, which was the May 20th, 2025 regular session meeting minutes. Did anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about that last meeting? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to accept those meeting minutes?
So moved. Bruce.
All right, and do I have a second?
Second,
Second,
Carlson.
Loomis. Sorry.
All right. I'll give it to Lauren so she's done. So she's in there somewhere. How's that? All right, we'll have a roll call vote. I reviewed them, so I'll be yes, Ken.
Yes.
All right, Lauren.
Yes.
All right, Jim.
Yes.
All right, and Jason.
Yes.
All right, so that's unanimous. So those meeting minutes are approved. So we will move on to the next order of business, which is committee reorganization. I held off just this week because I wasn't around. But as you know, Jim has stepped in Nancy's role, as a representative of the school committee. And I think my term just got re-upped too. So I figured we would do a reorganization. So I'm willing to stay on as chair if you folks want me. So do I have anyone else looking before we take a motion or a nominate? We'll start with a nomination.
I'll nominate you.
All right. All right. Any other nominations? Oh, Lauren,
No.
did you have your hand up?
I I do. And sorry if this is out of order, but with Jim being a new member, I was just wondering if we could just introduce ourselves and our roles.
Oh,
'Cause
absolutely. Okay.
I think Jim probably just knows me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't, unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened at that last meeting, but yeah. So, Jim, you're probably familiar with the MBC. So it was basically formed kind of in the mid to late 90s, right, Ken? Because Ken's the longest serving member of the
Yeah.
MBC.
Yes,
And
about,
it was,
yep.
yeah, it was formed by article. We amended it a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So basically, the MBC has oversight over all municipal buildings, in the town of Easton. And so really our charge is twofold. One is that we have oversight over any capital projects exceeding $500,000. So school, any of the school, the bigger projects, building projects. And the other one is, and we're going to talk a little about this tonight, which is we are also tasked with every 5 years inspecting all of those municipal buildings, and providing input to people like Dave Field and whatever department head may be, basically as far as repairs, maintenance, and capital improvements. So, that's the scope. Um, I myself, maybe just a quick introduction, like Lauren said, I joined, I think, in 2017, the MBC. So, and we've been pretty busy and active since about 2019, because all the projects we're doing in the town. I'm an engineer by trade. I'm a mechanical engineer. So, um, and I have my own business now for, I don't know, 20 something years, doing consulting engineering. So maybe we'll just go down the list. Ken, you want to introduce yourself to Jim?
Hi, yeah, I'm a registered professional engineer, civil. My expertise is mostly in wastewater and municipal engineering.
All right. And Lauren, you might as well just, you want to chime in and say hello? I'm just going to go down the list.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lauren Loomis. I am a representative from the school committee.
So I'm sure you two know each other.
And I rely on all the experts on this board.
Every
Yeah, and the
opinion counts.
Yep, yeah. And the makeup of the board, Jim, is so it's the superintendent of school is a member, non-voting member. The Department of Public Works director is a non-voting member. Then we have yourself and Lauren, are designated from the school committee, and then there's 5 other at-large members that typically have some experience in, construction or buildings, let's say. Um, and Jason, why don't you just introduce yourself?
I'm Jason Pruce. I run the conservation department at Self-Help, so we're essentially mass save for income eligible. Also with background in insurance adjustment, disaster mitigation, and some single family residential construction.
All right. Jim, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Jim Hamilton, representative of the school committee. I grew up in Easton, and I also, my full-time job is software implementation, project management, things of that nature. So really excited to learn a lot from this committee, I'm sure. Like Lauren said, I'll lean on pretty much everyone else to learn a thing or two, but excited.
Yeah, and right now we're in the midst of, as the biggest project the town's ever done, and we're in some good hands. So you're going to hear from PMA, who's our owner's project manager for this project. You're going to hear from Castle Booze, Greg Joyne, who's the architect, actually who's from Easton, and then Weston Sampson is doing work as well on the project. So you're going to hear a lot about that, and we've been in great hands so far. So all right. That was a good point, Lauren. That I wasn't sure what happened at the last meeting, but I'm glad we did that. Absolutely. So with that, why don't we step back to the committee reorganization and are there any other nominations for chair? We have Ken for myself. Alrighty. Alrighty. So seeing none, I guess we'll just have a roll call vote on that. I'm not sure I can even vote, to be honest with you, but I guess I'll say yes for now. Ken?
Yes.
All right, Lauren.
Yes.
Good loot.
All right, Jim
Yes.
Yeah. So
and
I
Jason.
Yes. I was on
All
mute. I wasn't hesitating my endorsement of your leadership.
That's fine. I wasn't, yeah, that's fine. All right, well, thank you. I think things have been going well, so we'll try to continue in that vein. We also need a
Do we have
vice
friends
chair um, for their um, Dan couldn't make the meeting, but I think Dan's been helpful. You know, he's on the technical review committee now for the project. Jim, just so you know, Dan's a registered architect. So I think he works for Arrow Street, right, Walter? Is that who he works for?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a big architectural firm. I don't know if they're in Cambridge or Boston, but you know, Dan's been very helpful because he does a lot of public works type of projects. Um, so I was gonna nominate him to stay on as vice chair. Does anyone else have any nominations? All right. Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote. So I am a yes. Ken,
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
all right, Jim,
Yes.
and Jason.
Yes.
All right. So whether he likes it or not, he's the vice chair. That's how it goes. All right. So that was good. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, and as I mentioned to you, Jim, is that we do have a responsibility, you know, to visit each of these buildings every 5 years. Um, we spent a lot of time back in 2019 visiting a lot of buildings. I mean, we did the you know, Department of Public Works, Police, Fire Station 3, Frothingham Hall. So we did a lot in 2019 heading towards a public safety project. The last one we did was 2023. We did the Easton Middle School. So we didn't do one last year, but obviously we've been pretty busy with this project. So um, I'm going to I'll reach out. I didn't know if Leisha will be on this, but I'll email Leisha because we've talked about going to the Richardson Olmsted School. Um, the only thing I was going to ask the NBC members who might want to participate is, I think last time we did it during the week at 5 o'clock. Does that sound right, Ken? I know Ken and Jason were there, right? Was it 5 we did?
It might have been a little bit earlier than that, but it was
Yeah.
definitely during the week.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna it might even be 4 o'clock, just so you know, and I'll keep everyone in the loop. But I was gonna target um, probably a weekday the last 2 weeks of July. So unless anyone's got something planned or you know wants to try to have any accommodations to get there, but we usually have to do something earlier, just you know to accommodate the facilities folks of the school and you know the people who work there, you know, so we're not keeping them late. So, um, but with Leisha here, I don't think we'll firm anything up. We'll just do it by email, but just to put that on your radar, I'm gonna look to do something, you know, in that like 4 or 5 o'clock time frame, and that would be towards the end of July. I just because I don't know, Walter, we might have another meeting right in July, so I'm going to try to make sure we don't hit that. So
It's up to you guys if you want to have. We have that discussion at the end of the slideshow.
yeah, maybe we'll kind of chat on that one too. So that was the only thing I wanted to bring up. We do have to get back on that. I know we've been busy, but you know, at a minimum, I think we want to do at least one of those a year. So, all right. So I think that was it for new business. So Walter, we'll jump over to the Public Safety, Public Works project if you want to
All right.
take it from there.
Yep, not a problem. Share the screen. 1 second. Andy, can you see that?
I can, yeah.
All right, perfect. So we'll do a general project update. We have a discussion and vote to recommend the KBA contract amendment number 5, a schedule update, next steps, and any questions and comments that the committee may have. So we'll run right through. Budget update, we're right on target. Just a reminder where we're at, the town voter authorized construction budget was 116.7 million. The construction budget right now is 107. We are accounting for that with the bid savings carried in the owner's soft cost contingency line item 0801 000 down below. So all in all, good shape there. Total project budget expenditure of about 9.4%. Contingency update, we're right off. We're 18% of the way through the construction schedule. And we have very little exposure to date coming out of the ground, which is great news. We have some very minor change orders that are being reviewed right now. So all in all, we're in good shape. Mitch, do you want to jump to do you want to take over for a minute?
Yep. No worries. You can jump right in. Let me see if you can just advance the slides. Yeah, so we just have a few photos we want to share with you of the progress out on both sites. So you can see on Depot site, this was an aerial right when we were about to, start the tree clearing on site. And we can advance and we can see some progress of the debris and all the refusal removal that we had on site, which was quite a lot, as everybody knows. Then this is over on Main Street. We had some rock over there, believe it or not, that we were able to dig out of there, and fortunately enough, we were able to track those, verify sizes based on our contract documents. Here is a picture of a soil processor machine over on Depot Street. So we're returning some on-site material into some reusable loom for the site. That was KIR and Fontaine. Here we are putting some structural fill down once the site was cut and ready to accept new imported material on Depot Street. You can see our trailers over there along the road. This is over at Fire Substation, I believe, or is this over? This is actually at Depot Street. It's Depot Street. We are just this week getting ready for our first concrete placement over there. So this is, excavation. We have structural fill over here, and we're forming up foundations. Here you can see that formwork, rebar all going in as planned. We have our third-party inspector on site checking out rebar, making sure we're good for concrete placements. We've been taking cylinders off, getting those tested. Here are the walls going in over at Main Street. And I think we have a picture. Yeah, here's some more rebar for the walls before the forms went up, and then you'll see some CMU going up too in the upcoming photo. But this is a good view standing on the side. You can see Main Street kind of planned northwest. That was the front of the building, and then formwork going in, concrete trucks, pump truck. So everything's been progressing nicely with construction so far. I think you can scroll through this one too, but it's good to see. Yeah, here we go. This is a good shot. They have the scaffolding up now when you drive by on Main Street. So the masons have started putting their block up. We have masonry door frames going in. A lot of good activities happening on site. It's always good to see these guys moving along. Fontaine and the subs have been doing a great job so far to keep everything moving.
Thanks, Mitch. I can jump back in. So tonight we have a recommendation that we'd like to ask the Municipal Building Committee to make. So this was part of Castle Booz's contract amendment that took place when the vote passed back in 2023.
Walter, could I just jump in? I was just going to jump in one sec before we jump to that. I just wanted to see if anyone had any questions about the construction update before we moved on from that. I mean, that was excellent. It's great to see the photos, absolutely. Did anyone have any questions on the construction update?
I do.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead, Lauren.
On that aerial view, the first photo, that was the aerial view.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Have more trees been cut since that time?
So that site is all open up now. And if I think, Walter, click forward a few, you can kind of see generally, there's one of our trailers, Walter, and you can kind of see the whole open site. Yeah. So this whole site has been opened up. Yep. So Depot Street is on the back of those trailers.
Right. Okay.
We have not gone back into DPW yet for tree clearing, which will be behind police and fire.
so I went the wrong way, but on that aerial, I'll
I
go
didn't
back
say
to it.
you. I didn't
Um,
say you
Is
were,
someone,
but
I just
Don
didn't know,
said
if
that
someone
it
want to
was your
mute?
idea
I'm
too.
hearing some background.
Oh, sorry,
Is
that's
someone,
me.
oh, I didn't know.
Um,
Okay, go ahead.
so the trees in the middle of the site right here, the 3 trees that you can see near all the construction material, those have all been taken out, and a lot of the trees on the right side have been taken out well as well, where that excavator is, to allow for the construction entrances, the 2 main, which really become the main entrances to the site eventually. You can see the road heading back. Nothing's been done back there. That was just where they put the equipment back there. So that's just being, the site's fenced in right now. So we're in good shape on there. Yep. Sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
Actually, just a quick follow-up question on that. I know last time we spoke, we were waiting on that permit from the Army Corps of Engineers to be able to cross the river or the brook. I wasn't sure if there was any news or updates on that.
Minor update. We have been told that the Army Corps is done with their review, but they turned it over to U.S. Fish and Wildlife, who are performing the final piece of what we believe is the final piece of that review. We're hopeful to get that in the next couple weeks, but right now we are on hold with that piece of it until they complete that review and issue the permit. But the work is progressing on Main Street. The work is progressing at Public Safety, which is the front piece of the site. And as soon as we're able to get back there, there'll be boots on the ground from the construction team.
And I know, Walter, from our discussions during the weekly meetings, that, it wasn't planned to even go back there, right, till July because of the wet season per se. So, as far as timing goes, I mean, it sounds like we're still okay timing wise, correct?
Yeah, a couple different conditions of the contract, really timing of the bridges, timing of the public safety the DPW building, when that can get there, when the bridge spans can get there, when the abutments can be done, all that type of stuff. We'll be working with Fontaine to make sure we can do that as efficiently as possible.
All righty. Any other questions about the construction update? And I think actually Griff from Fontaine is on here. I appreciate you coming on, Griff. Is he there?
He is. I know that he has a hard stop at 6:30. So
okay. No, I
gonna
just
have to hop
appreciate
off
you
at
coming.
6:30.
Yeah, thank you for popping on.
Grab
Griff.
me.
Anyone have any other questions? We have the whole OPM design and construction team there. Any other questions from the MBC?
That was my question. Thanks for asking that, Jason.
Yeah.
All right, Andy. With that, we'll go over to the next one. So KBA provided their proposal for performing the design, procurement, closeout services for the FF&E for the scope of the project, for fixtures, furnitures, and equipment. So basically, if you turn the building upside down, everything that falls out of it, not the IT equipment, that'll be a separate piece that we'll work with them on. And bring to you guys, but this is for the FF&E for the building, to put these packages together, purchase off a state bid list. KBA feels that the savings of procuring the equipment, because everything's really going to be individualized, won't be there for going a full procurement, but state bid list will get the most advantageous pricing for the project. This was proposed back when they submitted their proposal in 2023. Once we had the building project approved and moving forward, we had let everyone know that pending a successful bid opening, we would be bringing this to the committee to review. So once, if there's a recommendation from the committee to bring this to the select board, we will do that at their next meeting, which is July 7th. And just for an update, what this would look like in contingency, following the authorization of Amendment 4, the remaining value in owner soft costs was $802,000. This authorization would leave $627,672 in owner soft costs. The full bid savings of $9,042,587 also remains unutilized as well, which we are carrying in that line as well, for a total of a little over $9.6 million. So that's the budget update piece of that recommendation. And the recommendation would be to recommend the Select Board of Easton to execute the Contract Amendment 5 for KBA Architects for FF&E design procurement closeout services for the public safety project in the amount of $175,000. So happy to take any questions or comments, or if you guys want to move right into a recommendation, that's fine as well.
I just have one quick one, and then I can see if anyone else does. Walter, are we anticipating anything else coming out of that soft cost contingency? I just don't remember. Were there other things we kind of tabled, and now that we're at a better number, were there other things that were, just on the radar?
I think we had already utilized a little bit of it, of what we had anticipated. I think the only thing right now that we're anticipating utilizing out of the soft cost contingency would be the IT portion of this design piece. And then I think we'll probably utilize hard cost contingency for anything relating to the tower installation, the radio tower installation, or any other final like outside costs of the project outside the general contractors, outside Fontaine scope that we need to complete for full tie-ins. We budgeted for them, but there's some miscellaneous items that just couldn't be bid at the time, like the installation. They didn't want to hold a price for 2 years for that tower. So
Yeah.
we're working through that. We did recognize some savings on that. So, but we have that all accounted for in the budget. So minor stuff for soft cost, but we will have some hard cost contingency expenditures.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. That's good. Any other questions regarding this recommendation to the select board? All right, seeing none, so I have a motion to recommend to the Select Board of Easton to execute Contract Amendment number 5 for KBA Architects for furniture, fixtures, and equipment, design, procurement, closeout services for the public safety project in the amount of $175,000.
So moved, Carlson.
Carlson, all right, do I have a second?
Second, Bruce.
Chris, all right, we'll do a roll call vote. I am a yes. Ken?
Yes?
Lauren?
Yes.
All right, Jim?
Yes.
All right, and Jason?
Yes.
All right, so that passes unanimously. Perfect.
All right. Master project schedule update. This is really just a quick update on PMA's schedule. We are now working off of Fontaine's construction schedule, which we will put into the presentation next time we meet. But really the key dates are on the summary of the schedule. So March 2025 to April of 2026, fire substation construction, and March 2025 to November 2026 for public safety DPW construction, all progressing nicely. We've closed out design and bid phases. And with that, we can have the discussion if the committee, obviously we have a meeting here in June. If the committee, we really don't have any monthly action items for the committee. Should there come a time when the municipal building committee needs to meet in order to recommend a change order above the TRC's level, we're happy to reach out and schedule that. But up to you guys if we want to go bi-monthly or if there's a desire to go every other month. Andy, on your end, we don't really have a preference, but we don't want to tie up anyone's calendar for, what might be a 5 or 10 minute update, and up to you guys otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hear from the group. What I was thinking, Walter, is maybe like you said, we plan a date in August, and then if something comes up, something comes up. I think we're all aware that some things might come up that we have to address quickly. So, we'll work with those as we go, especially because I know in July, if we do a walkthrough of the Richardson Homestead, that's going to be a time commitment as well.
Yep.
Anyone else have any input on that regard, as far as scheduling goes?
I agree.
Okay.
We are happy to hold if we want to hold the first or second. Is there any?
Yeah, let me see what the date is. I just gotta pull up my calendar super quick.
I got it. Be either August 5th or August 12th. Be the first or the second.
Yeah, let's go with the 5th, because that's a little closer than 2 months, I would think.
Okay.
Anyone have a known conflict, let's just say, on the 5th? Okay. Yeah, and like I said, since we can Zoom, we have some options. So why don't we plan on the next Municipal Building Committee meeting on August 5th at 6 p.m. And Walter, you can give us a construction update at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll kind of
I'll-
hold the same format of our presentation.
Yeah, excellent. And then I'll send out an email to work towards scheduling that walkthrough of the Richardson Olmsted School, because we really do need to do one this year. So, all right.
All right,
think
and
that
that's
was it.
everything that the PMA team has, Andy. So we'll turn it over back to you for any further questions or comments.
Great. No, thank you. You know, we do appreciate, all the folks getting on. It's helpful to, get any questions answered so quickly. But, I just so the group knows, I usually go on I do a weekly walkthrough down there during the construction meetings, and things are going very well. It's wet back there, as I tell Walter, but we do know that was part of the plan. So they're doing a great job dewatering the site over at Depot Street. So, did anyone have any other new business they wanted to bring up? All right. Seeing none, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Bruce.
Bruce, do I have a second?
Second, Loomis.
Loomis. All right. I am a yes. Ken?
Yes.
Lauren?
Yes.
All right. Jim?
Yes.
And Jason?
Yes.
All right. So we are adjourned. Thank you for everyone for coming out, especially the folks on the OPM design and construction team. And I'll be in touch about that meeting.
All right, sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
See ya.
Hi.
Thanks. Have a great week.
Bye.
Okay, that went well.
Yeah, I think, these things are pretty straightforward. Sometimes no news is good news on a construction project. So,
Yes. Very well. And the next one is almost near the end of the summer.
oh, I know.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a wonderful one.
Yeah,
And-
enjoy the 4th and the good
Yeah,
weeks, and
around the
we'll,
corner.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Stay safe.
Okay, you two. We'll see you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.